13 unseeded sections about to start. I'm sure Dave will provide us with a few times, if he can, on to how our top three heats went.
Girls steeplechase, Merrimack Valley style. Please report in at this time to the infield.
I'm excited to see that steeplechase and see how they manage it.
So I wonder if they're just going to move the hurdles and just put them right by a big puddle.
My guess is they're going to do very much what Portsmouth does for their Clipper Relays steeplechase, where they'll just line up 6 hurdles across the track in various spots.
Yeah. Looks like we have Gracie from Kearsarge and Maddie from Pelham in this heat.
We had a scratch in lane 3.
Attention, Bob Mullen to Speed Sport timing. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a little break in the rain just to let you know.
Now, perhaps maybe you know, does UNH have the steeplechase water barrier actually built into their track?
Yep.
They do, okay. Yep. So they would probably, Dartmouth has it as well in their outdoor facility. They would be the probably only 2 tracks in the state that actually are set up to run a true steeplechase.
I'm going to have to argue on that because the last two weekends I spent some time at Southern New Hampshire. They have their their new facility. I think it's in its second year now.
Okay.
And I have witnessed and timed a couple steeplechases from that. So they're set up for it as well.
They have it as well.
And they have a really nice facility as well. 8 lanes all the way around with 9 on the straightaway. They got a little
That's
score.
even bigger than UNH or Dartmouth's track.
Little video board up there as well, as we do see section 2 of 13 take off. Looks like we only have 3 in it. That should be Madison from Raymond, Maya from Kennett, and Ruth from Kearsarge, I believe. Yeah, last weekend SNU had their invite, and it was pretty big. Ended up having over 1,200 athletes.
Wow. Yeah.
30-something teams. A lot of those teams from up north still having snow on their tracks, deciding to come on down and come to a nice new facility.
It looks like, though, they could put hurdles in maybe lane 4.
That's what I'm saying. You got the puddle right there.
To get the water hazard, but on the turn, too, in front of or behind the start line, there looks to be quite a bit of water on the track there, too.
So it looks like in this heat 3, we have runners in 1, 2, 3, and 6. Looks like they're going to stand up so we can
5.
And 5. Oh, missed one. So that would be Phoebe of Bishop Brady in 1, Lily of Belmont in 2, Grace of Kennett in 3, Alyssa of Raymond in 5, and Tatiana from Conant in 6.
So we just heard that high jumper from Oyster River is now attempting 6 feet 6 inches.
Did you get the name on that?
I did not.
And that looks like it is Grace from Kennett with the win on this heat.
But that would be Sidonio LaBelle Brown from Oyster River. He's attempting 6 feet 6 inches right now.
What year?
He is a senior.
Senior. I don't think I've seen him before.
I remember him from the indoor season. He did indoor high jump. I'm sorry, he's a junior. The meet record is 6'6" and a quarter.
Saw that, I think, 3 years ago.
That was
2 or 3 years
2009
ago.
from Dylan Moore. Summersworth.
I thought we had maybe he tied or came pretty close to it, but I remember there's a pretty strong jump going on. We'll have to look into that. My memory fails me a lot too, so not all about the stats, not as much as Dave Zink is.
I don't often see like a high jumper or a pole vaulter going to a quarter of an inch or a half of an inch. But I guess if you want the record, that's one way to get it.
As we see section 4 take off, we've got Sarah of Hopkinton, Georgia from Plymouth, Tova from Prospect Mountain, Victoria from Goffstown, SJ from Conant, and Christina from Kennett.
So now these are also meets where, because the athletes are new and haven't had a lot of experience in a big meet like this, just doing the math in my head, there's been enough empty lanes where we could have condensed 2 of those first heats that only had 2 athletes in them.
We haven't lost and found
So it just kind of
You've lost a stall first.
highlights the importance of athletes being on their game and
Please come to the front of the track shack and identify.
going to the bullpen and scratching when they're not going to run.
Yeah.
And then making sure that they actually go from the bullpen to the start line.
So as meet director, you're saying if you're going to scratch, ideally do it right away?
You should, do it before the meet even begins if you know if you're going to be scratching. And if you hurt yourself, and you can't run, make sure that your coach lets the meet management know and doesn't put you in an empty lane.
Good start for Section 5.
Or doesn't put you in a heat that then becomes an empty lane. So here we see another empty lane.
Ayla from Kearsarge, Megan Monadnock, Lily White Mountain, Laura Sanborn Regional, Lydia from Conval, and Marin from Raymond. So a good number of teams here today.
So as we were kind of going through the process of what really slows the meets down more than anything, these additional heats of the sprints. They're doing a great job, though, of in between not putting too much downtime.
Yeah.
But it's just when you have 30, 32 heats, there really is not a whole lot you can do to make things go any faster. And they're only going about 40 seconds between each heat, which is pretty darn good.
As we do see this heat get into their blocks. This is heat number 6. Olivia, lane 1 from White Mountain. Maddie, lane 2 from Goffstown. Emily, lane 3 from Campbell. Lane 4 has Emma from Kingswood. Lane 5.
A slip there.
What?
The lane 2 had some block slippage.
Lane
We've
5.
seen that a couple times.
Elizabeth from Oyster River, and lane 6, Hannah from Monadnock. So when you're getting in your blocks, your foot is primarily on the block. What about your toe? Do you tell your athletes toe on the track, kind of keep it off?
Well, it's interesting. I've been watching some YouTube videos, not specifically for starting technique, but as a result of being kind of a science nerd. There are some videos out there that talk about like what is the fastest a human being could run a 100-meter dash in, and in one of those videos they were working with 2 elite Olympic sprinters who both have the same general technique in the starting blocks, and they actually don't put their toe on the ground at all. And that is so when they come out of the block, they can actually drag their toe on the track to slow that back leg down to allow their lead leg to really get far out ahead of them.
Yeah.
And as a result, it keeps them really low because they're trying to drag that foot actually on the track, keep it in contact with the ground as long as they can to really delay them pushing out of the block so they can maintain contact with the block as long as possible.
Yeah, it's always interesting what you can see and start to break down when you take those little subtle movements and put them in slow motion, and you can really work on the instruction with that aspect of it.
Both of those athletes were saying that that front leg that comes out of the block, dragging the toe is a way to keep that back foot in contact so it can push as long as possible.
And, of course, the first 30 meters, as we see another girl fall out of her blocks. First 30 meters of her race is the drive phase in these
Yep.
100s, where you're aiming to stay low, so you're not going to be fully upright till about 30 meters or so in.
Right.
And in this heat, we do have Emily of Pembroke in lane 1. Lane 2 is Ellie from White Mountains. 3, Dakota from Kingswood. 4, Sophie from Hopkinton. 5, Chloe from Sanborn Regional. And in 6, Julia from Somersworth.
And the longer you can remain in contact with the blocks and push, the more force you can generate.
The following boys have qualified for the men's 110-meter hurdles. Colin Askell of John Stark, Dylan Lassard of Merrimack Valley.
Yeah, pretty close race here.
Yep.
John Ely of Pelham, Jason Sewell of Summersworth, and Joseph Wegman of John Stark. Wegman, Sewell, Ely.
Interesting. That one went
Lassard, Askell.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You have
That's what I thought I
qualified
saw,
for
but I wasn't sure.
the hurdle finals.
Not every day you see that.
No. We have like 6 heats left. 5 heats.
Think coming up next is Heat 8, I believe.
So we got 5 left.
I don't think I've said
Or-
those names yet.
Yeah.
And if we take a look
Look
down
for-
at Heat 8, we do have Abby of Kennett in lane 1. Lane 2 is Lillian of Monadnock. Lane 3, Alexa from Plymouth Regional. Lane 4, Kaylee from Belmont. Lane 5, Sydney from Campbell. And lane 6, Ava from Goffstown.
Belmont and Campbell both with red.
I see Goffstown at the end.
That is Kennett in lane 4.
So I think we're...
So they may have reseeded these based off of scratches.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
seeing right now.
It looks like, yeah, I think it's
Although
lane 8.
Kennett looks like they're in the next
it's
seat.
an empty.
There we go.
Yeah, an empty lane.
And we see this heat taking off.
Attention
Again,
all
not
athletes.
quite at the time where we have all of our seat times pretty accurate. Yeah, so we'll see it spread out versus the Flying V. But decent lean there at the end.
Tara Smoker of Plymouth Regional. Gwyneth
Oh yeah, it's
Ballinger
important. A
from
lot of the
Vermont.
athletes
United
today
Young
stay,
Stevens.
keep their
Devin
muscles
McLean,
warm and
Voice
everything.
Ella
It's
McLean
pretty
of
rainy
Regional.
out. I
Kathleen
know it's a
Lewis
pretty
of
miserable
Plymouth
day, but at
Regional.
least it's
Lewis
not
McLean.
cold out, so
McLean,
That's a positive.
McLean, Young, Dollinger, Smoker, please. You have qualified for the final.
Of course, we're now hearing the voice of one of the athletes here today, Shane.
The
So
boys
welcome.
under your dash.
Yeah.
Are you running anything today?
no, unfortunately I'm not, because I feel like a lot of the athletes at the beginning of the season, I'm suffering from an injury, quad strain, so kind of sucks. But you know what? Making the best of it. I'm here for the team,
Yeah.
here for Co Brown, here just to support.
Yeah, and you do mention those early season injuries, and we see those a lot in across the board, different schools, and then they start to taper out, fix it up. A lot of times for that, we see just some of the drills are a little bit new to the body if you haven't been doing stuff in between, and obviously the earlier months it's a little bit colder out as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of factors that can go into it. Of course, you guys are always eager to go out and do more and more and more, and push yourself maybe a little bit too much before we're ready to it, as we do see this heat take off.
That's for sure. Then Pride's got some good form. Oh,
Pretty close
coming
between.
close, gonna come in close.
And I do believe that was Emma from Interlakes with the win there.
Yep.
Very close with Cheryl from MV. Of course, we are at Merrimack Valley, so nice little home field advantage as much as you can get, just being comfortable with the track and knowing the surface. And next week, New Hampshire Track and Field will be at the Black Bear Invitational,
Oh,
your
yeah.
home school.
Yeah, cannot
So,
wait.
You're gonna be going next week. What do you
Oh,
think?
I will definitely be attending Black Bear. That's the best. That's the best meet of the state, the whole season.
Definitely not
easily.
biased at all.
Last time I was there, I was also out last season due to a heart, like, I don't even know what to say, injury or like heart attack basically. And I mean, once again, I had to sit out the outdoor season for a little bit, but Black Bear last year was crazy. Lots of talent, lots of competitive people there.
Yeah, I know. We're happy to have you back after those medical mishaps.
Yeah.
We'll say. So it's good to have you back, and definitely missed, and your teammates missed you as well. I know that for sure.
Thank you. It's great to be back. I think we got the 1600 kicking off soon.
I think before that we do have our steeplechase.
Okay, the
Yep.
steeplechase.
Steeplechase. I believe we have got steeplechase before our break today. I'm not quite sure. Dave Zink's the man who knows the schedule. He stepped out for a minute so that Shane could come on and give us a little athlete insight into a meet. So, what's morale like? You've been around your teammates and other schools as well. What's the weather doing to everyone mentally?
I mean, it's definitely taking a bit of a toll on people. What I feel, it's warm out. I mean, people are staying positive, or as positive as they can be, and I think everyone kind of wants to get on with this meet and get their event done. They're eager to race, but I think it's starting to clear up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty exciting too because it's warm out as we do see section 11. Oh, and I think they leaned early again. So that's the second heat I've seen today where people leaning at the clock and not the finish line post. Always important to check your finish lines and be looking for the finish line as you're running. Again, we saw at the Dartmouth indoor facility it happens all the time. So we'll see. There's been a couple of announcements as well. My guess is they'll start double checking with the athletes at the start line because that's always unfortunate when you try and cut your race short by 5-10 meters.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Did I hear there was a DQ in the 4x8 earlier this morning?
Yes, you did. I think you bring it up because it is your team that was DQ'd.
Yeah, I know. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, just a little bit of eagerness, and I think you guys extended beyond the exchange zone. I was not in the tent for that, so I don't know what the conversation was like, but as we do see, I believe this is section 12 of 13 for the girls, unseeded 100. And again, we're starting to get a little bit closer now as these seed times are a bit more accurate. However, that does look like lane 1 Belmont with the win for it. And that'd be Gabrielle Day having a good day so far.
I feel like this is a great meet to showcase like all the new talent, like like some of the new athletes, and just to see what athletes have improved since last year. I feel like this is like the first real competitive meet of the season.
Inaugural steeplechase.
Yeah, it's this point in the year where we start seeing more and more of those big invites and more teams going to them, having been working out for about a month or so now. So still plenty of time for that improvement. And for our last section of the girls on seed 100s, in lane 1, we have Julia from Stevens. Lane 2, Cassidy from Pembroke. Lane 3, Laurel from Guilford. Lane 4, Elizabeth from Kingswood. Lane 5, Izzy from Co-Brown. And in lane 6, Tabitha from NV. Although it looks like she is not in it. Gun is up. And they're off. Again, with sprinting, form tends to be so important because you're going such a little distance, and if you have one little thing wrong or you're a little bit too tight, that can really end up adding up. As we saw, who was that? Guilford?
I believe so.
Looked like Guilford had the lean and the win there.
Yeah, the 100 is definitely a make or break event. It's those little things that can really make or break your race for you.
So, with the conclusion of the girls 100s, I am not a steeplechase runner by any means, so I'm going to hand it off to Coach Dave Zink, who knows a little bit more about steeplechase than I do. And we'll see if we get a little bit of insight. Although, do we have a break now or is it after this?
I think it's going to be super interesting to see the steeplechase play out because not a lot of tracks, I feel, around the state of New Hampshire, at least for D2 and like D3 and stuff. They don't have a lot of like equipment on the track for a steeplechase, so it's going to be interesting to see that.
Oh yeah, no high school is actually set up for a true steeple. None in New Hampshire. Dave and I were actually talking about that earlier and decided that there are 3 colleges that are good to go for it, but high school, we always get the fun ones where it's like Clipper relays, and now
Yeah.
trying out nice little 2,000-meter steeplechase here at MV.
We got Mike flexing a little bit on us.
I don't know if that was flexing or practicing his javelin form. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, although I'm sure he wouldn't care if I said he was flexing.
How's the javelin going today?
So this is our first look at it, which tells me that we probably are on our break, which
Okay.
means I'm going to keep talking and let Dave have a little bit of lunch there.
Alrighty.
So day like today, definitely not the most ideal for javelin. A little bit of wind for jav can actually be a good thing. If it's actually coming at their face, it will help to keep the jav in the air a little bit longer. Wind today coming from the south, not quite going to be as helpful as it could for them. And then, of course, you got to always worry about the rain and the grip on it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the rain is having a negative impact on a lot of events, but I feel like people are just getting through it and maybe still getting those PRs, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's early enough where you can be PRing still pretty easily.
Pretty consistently, yeah.
So it does sound like we are going to have our steeplechase, again, 2,000 meters, which means 5 laps, and there are 5 different sets of hurdles. Obviously no water hazards except for the puddles that have collected on the track. Make life a little bit easier. I know when the listings of who was doing what for this meet came out, the first thing I came to was the steeplechase to take a look at who was doing what and who wanted to step up for it. So looking at the line now, we do have Cadence and number 1 for Oyster River, Christine Hanover, Avery Sanborn, Eva from Conant with the number 4 on her hip, Catherine Derryfield, Addie Merrimack Valley, Abigail Bishop Brady, Lily from Hopkinton, and Emma from Derryfield to round out the 9, although I'm only seeing 8, it looks like. 1, 2. Yeah, so Emma from Derryfield, there she is. She's hiding on me.
This is going to be interesting to see. Anyone from Co-Brown doing the steeplechase?
No Cole Brown athletes doing it. I think we're definitely going to take a year, see how it goes. There was a few kids who were kind of interested, but we had other things kind of already in the works for this meet. So we'll see. I know it's something exciting, and as a sprint coach, I wouldn't be afraid to put an athlete in a unique event like this. However, I'm not going to make a 200 runner do a 2,000.
Yeah, 2,000, yeah. Definitely for the mid-distance to distance athletes.
So they're off cleanly, 9 of them towing the line. As we do see them starting to move some hurdles out onto the track. Obviously, we don't want them doing a hurdle 5 meters into the race. That's not going to be good for anyone. And it looks like that is Oyster River leading, Cadence. As we follow them around, we'll try and take special emphasis at each of the barriers and see how they do. And it sounds like the rain might just be picking up a little bit, still not as bad as what it was before. And for a distance runner, I'm not too sure how much they mind this. They run year-round in whatever conditions. I know
That's
past
for sure.
This past fall, every big meet there was, it was raining. It was pretty much a guarantee, especially come championship season. So any type of distance runner who did that, they're used to it, especially training. As we do see them coming onto the straightaway, and we'll get a really good look at some nice hurdle form. Or not. Well, pretty good.
She kind of hesitated a little bit.
A little bit high over it. Same for 3rd and 4th with it. But overall, actually really surprising how well the hurdle form is going with the top few of them.
Caden from Oyster River has a pretty sizable lead.
What was that, Dave? Let's see. Sorry. Bad timing, as we do see Cadence from Oyster River still in the lead.
Was this for us? Yeah. Okay.
From the tower,
Man, I just got to give a quick shout out to the officials today. I mean, in these conditions, they're chilling out in the rain the entire day. I mean, a lot of credit goes to them today. That's for sure. Oyster River definitely has a nice lead right now. Coming up on this set of hurdles.
It's being such a new event for track and field in general. It's probably a little bit challenging for the coaches to figure out what kind of athlete they put into this race.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I think.
Me personally I would be looking for an 800-meter runner, a really strong 800-meter runner.
Yeah,
teaching them how to hurdle.
Definitely a strong mid-distance runner, 800 to a mile, would suit best for this event, I believe. Oyster, we're going pretty strong right now. I know that for the rest of the week, there will definitely be similar weather to today, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to see what weather we will get for the Black Bear Invitational. Hopefully not as bad as today.
Temperature-wise, it's not bad.
Yeah, temperature-wise, it's actually perfect. 60s, mid-60s, pretty good.
This looks like Avery Scully from Sanborn.
Yep, she's creeping
gonna
up.
Take over the lead now. Also interested to see how close the seed times are.
Yeah. Okay. I think we also have Christine Ammon from Hanover, not far behind. Scully and Cadence.
I think this is their final lap.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be interesting to see their kick on this final lap because those hurdles will definitely take a toll on their speed, maybe slow them down a little bit.
So it's like one more hurdle to go for Avery Scully.
Mm-hmm. And this is a slightly edited steeplechase, correct? It's not like the official steeple.
Well, yeah, there's no
pit.
water barrier here.
Yeah.
First and final call for the fifth and final flight of the boys javelin. Fifth and final flight, boys javelin. Please check in at this time.
Oh, all right. She's got one more to go. So that was a little premature, thinking this was her last lap. So their seed times were truly estimates, not known finish times.
Sanborn Regionals
Still
taking.
Avery Scully, though, in the lead.
Mhm.
Hurdle crew, at the end of the girls' steeplechase, the hurdles go up one notch. One notch. Thank you.
We got people warming up for their triple jump and all those good field events as well.
So it sounds like they're not going to run the boys' steeple at the intermediate height like they do at the Clipper relays.
Oh, okay. We got we got Hanover creeping up. Okay. Little hesitation on the hurdle.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she's got a kick right now. She's got a kick. She's creeping up on her.
Yep.
Okay. She's gonna catch her. Woo!
7:37 unofficially for
That last 100 was key for Hanover.
it's like Christine Aman with Avery Scully in second, and this is Cadence Murphy
from
in
Oyster River.
third place.
Definitely a tough event, I have to say, but an interesting event to see play out. Credit to these girls for running today.
This is very reminiscent of the steeplechase relay that the Clippers does. We'll see in about a month or 2 weeks.
We got Coach Mike Bassett peeping in the tent right now.
Nate.
Oh, Nate Bassett, my bad.
Still more finishers here. This is that looks to be Lily Sable of Hopkinton.
All right.
And this is Catherine Gage of Derryfield now.
Attention coaches and athletes. Due to weather, the pole vault is no longer suspended. It has now been canceled.
Oh,
We
No.
apologize, guys, but for safety reasons, that is the best decision.
So
Pole
we've
vault.
just received confirmation that the pole vault will not be contested today.
it's unfortunate. I know a lot of Co-Brown athletes were excited to try it out today and get some good qualifications for future meets.
One of those events, though, at a meet that you really can't compromise the safety of the athletes just to get it done.
That's
And when
for sure.
when it's raining like this, it's just really not safe to pole vault.
Yeah, I know last year, one of the, sorry I keep talking about Co-Brown athletes, but I'm not too educated on all the other teams, but one of the best pole vaulters in the state, Tyler Troy, I think he tore his ACL practicing pole vault one time, and so it'll be interesting to see.
He's not the first athlete at high school or even at college level to injure themselves doing the pole vault.
Yep, definitely a dangerous event.
From Kearsarge, Megan Roy.
So we're seeing Colm Sane from Hanover in his second race of the day.
Riley. And from Sanborn Regional,
You also got Matt Reynolds from Merrimack Valley.
Yep, his first event was the 1600. He ran in one of the unseeded heats, but ran 4:49
shot put for finals. Good luck,
in an
ladies.
unseeded heat, which so far is the best time of that event. And we are
Right.
off.
Taking off.
It's like we've also got Hunter McLeod, Michael Eggers, Michael Harris, Sunjay Sud, Gavin Kurdek, and Josh Notobart.
Matt Reynolds taking an
So
early
the
lead.
other Reynolds, David Reynolds, being his brother, twin brother, who I am fairly confident will be running the 3200 later on in the meet.
Yeah.
Maybe the 1600 as well.
Yeah, I know it's important to make sure you're not doing too many distance events. I know these distance runners, they put a lot of mileage on, and doing a 3200 and a 1600 the same day would definitely be pretty difficult. Reynolds still in the lead.
And David Reynolds is slated to run the 3,200 later today.
Okay. Good prediction.
So having watched the girls and the guys, I would definitely say the girls have a bit better form when it comes to these.
They definitely do. Well, the boys do have the advantage of it's a lower height than they ever run at. It's not the intermediate height. This is being run at the girls' high hurdle height, which is only 33 inches.
I think a lot of the girls from their steeplechase, they had a little bit more experience with hurdling. I feel like we have a lot of distance athletes who don't usually do hurdles. So I think that's why we see a little bit of lack in form coming over the hurdles. Coming over this next set of hurdles. Reynolds once again still in the lead.
See some of the other runners going wide out into lane 3, so they don't have to compete with anybody going over the hurdle.
Yeah, that could end bad.
Yeah.
2 people trying to go over the hurdle
Yeah.
at the same time.
So there are states around the country that do the 2,000-meter steeplechase as a regular high school event. New York is one of them.
Oh, the Laux games.
Yep.
The Laux games.
That's right.
I think when my dad was in high school, he went to Methuen High School. He went to the Laux games for the 2,000 steeplechase. It's such a cool event. It really kind of tests a little bit of everything.
Yep. It's definitely an athletic event.
That's for sure. Reynolds once
So I
again.
believe they have 2 laps to go.
Think so.
Two laps to go.
Yep.
It's like he's found his rhythm.
I think the spectators are having a good time watching this event.
Yep.
From what I am hearing.
With any hurdling event, it's really just about finding your rhythm between the hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
Not breaking stride.
Yep, definitely important to finish strong, because as we saw in the previous 2,000 steeplechase, Hanover passed Sanborn at the last second, basically, in that last 100 meters. So important to keep the form strong and keep your stride long.
This was actually a training that I used to have hurdlers do.
Attention all athletes, this is the first and final call for the girls and
We'd do it
boys
as a
hurdles.
mile,
Girls
but
and boys
I'd put up
hurdles.
3 hurdles around the
Please
track,
stand at this time.
and they'd have to run 4 laps over the hurdles.
Yeah, no, for hurdling, I feel like it's pretty difficult to like teach some people what they're doing wrong with their form. So what I've been seeing at practice lately is a lot of the coaches are actually videotaping the athletes as they're going over the hurdles, so they can witness what their any flaws in their form.
So Matthew Reynolds, about 200 meters to go.
Yep, he's got a pretty decent lead, but we'll see. We'll see if anyone.
He's got 2 more hurdles to negotiate. One here on the turn, and 1 more on the straightaway. He started to lap some of the runners in this heat.
Pelham is coming up though, but I think it's gonna be a close race for Pelham and Hanover, I believe. See who gets second.
Matthew
and third.
Reynolds from Merrimack Valley wins the exhibition event here, the 2000 steeplechase, followed by
Josh Notebart from Pelham, and then
Colm Sane from Hanover, finishing in 3rd. So like the girls, these seed times were definitely a guesstimate.
Yeah, that's a hard event. Definitely credit goes to these athletes for maybe trying something new, something they don't do a lot.
See all the pole vaulters getting rid of their implement, packing away their poles on the buses.
Yep,
As that event has been canceled.
that's unfortunate.
So I believe we're going to see like a 15-minute break right
Attention all
about now.
athletes, this is a first and final call for the girls high jump. First and final call, girls high jump.
Wow, there is a lot of 200 runners today
Let's bring this young man home, everybody.
Yes, there is.
for both boys and girls. It's going to be interesting to see the 4x4 as well play out at the end of the meet. Definitely probably my favorite relay event within the sport of track and field. I think officials are getting ready for the next event.
Should be the girls' hurdles
Yep, I believe so.
finals.
Mason Graham to the finish line, please. Mason Graham, ASAP to the finish line, please. Attention all athletes, this is the first and final call for the girls long jump. First and final call, girls long jump. Please check in at this time.
The girls' long jump also kicking off.
Coach Irving, I need that trailer.
Also got the boys'
ASAP.
triple jump pretty
ASAP,
soon.
I need that trailer.
All right, we will be back shortly. I think we are taking that 15-minute break, so.
Coach, you got him? Blocks are on their way. Tell those ladies to take a few minutes. We have to do a special presentation before they begin.
Special presentation.
Attention all athletes, the first and final call for the boys and girls dash finals. Boys and girls dash finals. They're coming.
I believe they'll be doing the Pledge of Allegiance here to start the finals. Not Pledge of Allegiance, sorry, National Anthem. Looks like our trumpeter is practicing.
Where'd you get the food at?
Inside the gym. Inside the calf, rather.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like everyone to please take a pause for just a moment. At the finish line, I have recently graduated Merrimack Valley High School student Mason Graham and college kid here to perform our national anthem. If you please turn and face towards the middle school, take off our hats.
Very nice presentation there of the national anthem by Mason Graham.
All the events on the track right now are a finish, finals. Girls hurdles followed by the boys, followed by the dashes.
Here we have the girls 100 hurdle finals. Looks like we have lost our clock feed. So we will get you that time shortly.
Attention all athletes, this is the first and final call for the sixth flight of the boys discus. Sixth flight of the boys discus. We have a few results. In the women's triple jump, in sixth place from Prospect Mountain, Gracie Hardy. In fifth place from Stevens, Audrey Puxka. In fourth place from White Mountain, Ty Maronish. In third place from Interlakes, Greta Achenbach. In second place from Interlakes, Emma Wheeler. And with a jump of 34 feet 3 inches from Sanborn Regional, sophomore Kaylin LaChapelle. In the boys high jump, the finals are as follows. In sixth place from Merrimack Valley, Camden Donovan. In fifth place from Pelham, Dylan Foss. In fourth place from John Stark, Joseph Wegman. In third place from White Mountain, Zeke Pribernow. In second place from White Mountain, Jack Parker. And with a jump of 6 feet 5 inches from Oyster River, junior Sid LaBelle Brown. This is the first and final call for the boys shot put check-in. Boys shot put check-in, please go to the shot put at this time. Boys shot put, first and final calls.
Looks like we're waiting for hurdles to get moved. They're ready now.
Forrest Pribernow from White Mountain, please check in.
Their boys' heat is off.
First and final call, girls 1,600 meters seated. Girls 1,600 meters seated. Please check in at this time.
And we'll try to get those times. So John Eli, 15.47. Dylan Lassard, 16.73. Jason Suwu, 17.13. Christian Army, 17.47. Colin Astols, 17.68. And Joseph Wegman, 17.86. We'll go back and look at the girls' 100 hurdle finals. Still don't see them. We should have those at some point. We have the girls 100 final. And that is Devin McLean from Oyster River winning the girls 100 final. Also in that heat, Jana Young of Stevens, Ella McLean Hanover, Gwyneth Dollinger Pelham, Catherine Lures Plymouth, Tara Smoker also from Plymouth.
Another good run out of Devin McLean there.
Oh, our time is back. All right, good. We lost our clock connection there for a minute.
Next on the track, we do have our boys 100-meter dash finals.
In the finals, we have Remy Bourgeois of Plymouth Regional, Del Bonsuanen from Conval, J.J. Davis from Kearsarge, Jackson Paradise from Sanborn, Ben Hillsgrove from Belmont, and Forrest Pribernow from White Mountain.
Athletes getting in their blocks now. Set. Good start. Again, top time coming into the finals is in lane 3 now. Very close race going on. It's going to be tough to tell, but it does look like that is going to be lane 4. Conval pulling it out.
Del Bonsuanen.
And that does conclude our 100 dashes.
Don't have his official time yet.
So next event on the track, I believe, will be our girls 1600.
Our seated section. Yep.
Can see those girls off to the edge now. And coming on as the boys from the dash head off the track. So taking a look at hip numbers. See if we can tell you who's who in just a minute.
Seem to have lost the girls.
Yeah, somehow didn't make
sheet.
the copy of the
This is the girls'
page that we had.
1600. We have Kaylee Stockwell of Hopkinton, Sydney Stockwell of Hopkinton, Abigail O'Connor of Co-Brown, Lily Bear of Kearsarge, Cassie Hemming of Campbell, Alice Rice of Belmont. Addison
We'll get
Cox
those
of
names for you
Co-Brown,
shortly,
Emma
see if we
York
can't
of
look them up, but I will say right now,
Conval,
some pretty prominent names in this from the cross-country season as they take off. Ooh, a little bit of a slip maybe, but did not get called back. I believe that was Alice Riley of Belmont who might have had a little bit of a mishap on the line.
So we have, let's see if I can find, there we go. Layla Trummel from Hanover, Claire Vaverka from Conval, Maya Doobie from Kearsarge, Rachel Hurley from Conval, Emma York from Merrimack Valley, Addison Cox from Co-Brown, Alice Riley, Belmont, Cassie Hemming Campbell, Lily Bear from Kearsarge, Abby O'Connor from Co Brown,